Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a garden and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lot.
Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Fandomion. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. For any of you guys who might be interested or on the fence, I highly recommend checking out the website. Pay attention to the size chart. That'll be the biggest thing I would tell you guys. But with that being said, though, let's jump back into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And today, we need to talk about that moment that so many people have been waiting on, which is Sarada Uchiha and that long-awaited visual power-up to Sarada's Kekkei Genkai, i.e. the Sharingan. So right now, as we're all aware of in the Boruto manga, Sarada has a 3-tomoe Sharingan. However, in the Boruto anime, Sarada only has a 2-tomoe Sharingan, something that's been a glaring issue, something that I keep getting questions about every single episode review whenever she uses a Sharingan and people realize that she's only got a 2-tomoe. Now, as we've been told previously in the past, one of the writers for the Boruto anime did say that there was a plan to give Sarada her 3-tomoe in the anime. And in the manga, currently, there are events that are taking place in the manga that could set the stage for Sarada getting her mangekyou Sharingan. However, when it comes to the latter, I'm going to address that at the back end of this video. The front end is going to be safe for anime-only fans, which is Sarada's 3-tomoe Sharingan. And based off of the information that we have from the promotional spoilers, I do think that we're getting the opportunity to see what they had planned for Sarada's 3-tomoe Sharingan, because based off of those promotional spoilers, we were told that there's a secret weapon that has been developed in the Hidden Mist Village that's going to be used on the people on Doto Island, which is the island that Sarada's currently working with Denki in order to evacuate all the people to safety. And we have people that are powerful enough that there's been this huge ensemble team that's been put together to deal with it, the members of the Funato clan. We are dealing with the leader Ariumi, somebody who is strong enough that it required Chojuro, who is a Kage, it required him to step in to bring this person down. So we're seeing at the bare minimum somebody that is a big enough threat that one of the 5 Kage had to step in to deal with. And because of how everything's set up, Boruto and Sarada, Kawaki, Mitsuki, the 3 members of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist, Metal Lee, Iwabe, Denki, Kagura, these are all going to be people that are likely going to be fighting against this Ariumi person that we have in the anime original arc. And I think that that does set the stage for Sarada's 3-tomoe, because if he is this skilled, then there is the possibility that he's going to be moving fast enough that Sarada's 2-tomoe Sharingan's not going to be able to track. And so I really think that having this situation where Sarada's pressed it with her back against the wall and she's battling against this person, and you have Boruto, who right now should not be using karma until we get to the sparring match that takes place between Kawaki and Boruto later on because of the effects of those drugs. It is one of those things where Sarada should be the one that steps up and is able to take charge right here. And her having that Sharingan evolve midway through this fight, just as you did with Depot, where she awakened that eye in order to protect Boruto, you can have a very similar thing go on here where potentially Sarada is able to progress her Sharingan to that 3-tomoe state in a way to protect the character of Kawaki. I really think that they're setting a stage for something like that, because what we've seen so far is in the anime original episodes so far, we've seen is Kawaki and Sarada, they shared moments, and Sarada has been shown in a manner where she's given Kawaki advice and counsel. She's been there for him. They've built up a little bit of a rapport, and because of what's going to happen during that sparring match, this is good fodder in order to lay the groundwork for that eventual split that's going to be coming between those two characters. So I do think that this is something that works, and Sarada's in a position where as the tuning captain of this team. She's gonna feel a level of responsibility for the character Kawaki. So I could see this being something that actually works in terms of narrative for the build up to get us to this point. So I do like this idea here of this being the person that Sarada ends up using her 3 tomoe in the anime against, again, as a Kage level fighter potentially. So that does make sense from the narrative aspect. Now, on the back end of this is where if you're a anime only fan, you do want to kind of click off here. I do thank you for the support. However, due to the subject matter, we do need to discuss the current events in the manga. So when it comes to Sarada's Mangekyou Sharingan, I've touched on this in the past before, that I do think that having Sarada show up and see Boruto's dead body be one of the things that makes her awaken her Mangekyou Sharingan, and it allows you to save, killing off Sasuke or Sakura or somebody else from the old generation that Sarada has a connection to. It allows you to save that because we know Boruto's going to be brought back. However, I do think that when it comes to Sarada getting some type of a power up from the Mangekyou Sharingan, it's something that is needed simply for the fact that the power scale right now has gotten so incredibly busted right now to where the only thing that she's going to be able to even hope to be able to close the distance in terms of power is getting the Mangekyou Sharingan, which is a reminder when the Uchiha awaken their Mangekyou Sharingan and then they progress to Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, there's clear indication that there's a massive power up that happens between each of these transformations that takes place in their eyes. And so what I like right here is this gives you the opportunity for Sarada, whose base is already pretty damn strong. Before Boruto started getting the power up of the Karma Seal, her and Boruto were still somewhat relative to one another when it comes to base. Her getting that Mangekyou Sharingan, it allows her to not be left behind whenever Kawaki starts using his Karma Seal, when Boruto starts using his Karma, if Mitsuki ever starts using that Sage transformation that he has. Sarada's chakra boost that's going to come from the Mangekyou is going to work simply for the fact that the Uchiha, the stronger the hate that they feel, the stronger their ocular powers get. And when you add in the Mangekyou Sharingan power up, that opens up the door for Sarada to be put on a sliding scale similar to Sasuke, where Sasuke, when he first awakened the Mangekyou, was weaker than he was after Sasuke got his hatred amp. He jumped up into a whole nother class of power. And that's directly because of the fact that the Uchiha clan's emotions, even without the Mangekyou Sharingan, increases their ocular power. It's just that hatred is the main source, according to Tobirama, that strengthens their ocular powers. And that's consistent with what we've seen in the series, where it's just not in accordance to the emotional change that happens with the Mangekyou Sharingan, where it's triggered by the loss of a loved one. But when the Uchiha clan feels that strong sense of hatred, it grows their ocular powers, which is why Tobirama said that the Uchiha who are particularly sensitive, the more their hatred grows, the more powerful their ocular powers get and the harder it becomes to actually contain and control them. And with the character of Sarada, we were told by Sakura in the Naruto Gaiden anime edition that Sarada has always been a particularly sensitive child, which for an Uchiha, that's a very dangerous trait. However, with that power being harnessed and redirected, any type of hatred that she feels upon seeing Boruto's dead body, that allows her to power up similar to what we've seen with other characters in the series. That unknown multiplier is the backdoor for a huge power cliff. It's gonna allow Kishimoto as a writer to make Sarada as strong as she needs to be. I think that the problem that a lot of people have when it comes to Mangekyou Sharingan is people see somebody has Mangekyou and they immediately say, well, they gotta be as strong as Sasuke when he had the Mangekyou. Or a better example is how people see Naruto right now only currently has Sage mode, and they assume that he must be as strong using Sage mode as he was when he fought against Pain, because that's what you most associate that power with. But what people aren't fully grasping is that Sage mode, Mangekyou Sharingan, Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, each of these just gives you a boost on top of your base. With the Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, we have evidence and we have statements that there's a chakra increase that takes place, similar to how you had a chakra increase between KCM 1 and KCM 2. And it's because there's no set in stone multiplier for how much chakra somebody gets when they progress from one eye to the other, because Naruto's always had that sliding scale as a series. The power cliff is gonna come. It just really comes down to how strong you think Sarada's base has gotten right now, and I think that's where we need the anime to further establish that by seeing something that makes her comparable, or we see where she compares to Boruto and Kawaki in base. Which is why I do think that this current arc that we have in the anime, where we see Sarada on a mission with Boruto and Kawaki, there's going to be a fight that takes place. We get an opportunity to see exactly where she is in terms of power compared to them before we get to that huge sparring match that takes place in chapter 58. That's the other benefit of Kawaki being on Team 7 right now, is that we're going to get a lot of data. However, I want to know from you guys, do you think that this anime original arc is where Sarada's going to get that 3 tomoe? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.